Okay, so Jacob is coming in. Are you around the Oakland area seeing some flashing lights there? Jacob, what do you got?
Hey Kevin, we're coming up to Highway 45. It's gonna be where all those factories are at the Industrial Expressway, the loop they built. That can't remember the name. It's County Road 1000. It's that first exit before you get to the Mattoon-Charleston exit there. And we've got some serious damage here to the left. We're going to try and either stop and pull in. This may have been where the house was, just to the east there. And it looks like, I think it's the Dorrance community is a little bit to the north. So this is going to be south of Dorrance, north of Mattoon. And I'm going to try and turn that camera a little bit to give you a little bit better of a vantage point here and see what we can come up with. It looks like the roof has been removed from the house, the shed destroyed into the back there. And I think you can kind of catch the edge of it there. While we've got this up, I do want to say that I have heard from my friend Nick Turner in Oakland. He says the mayor and the city engineer are out. They have no damage in the immediate city limits, but they are heading out to check surrounding areas, and they'll report back to us when they know. So the actual city of Oakland did not have damage in the city limits from what we've been told. But this is going to be between Dorrance and Mattoon on that 1000 Road North. It's that industrial exit, and somebody's going to correct me online because I keep butchering it there. But it does appear that there's a house that has lost its roof here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to back into this road real quick and see if we can't give you a vantage point in between the fire trucks here. Definitely not a great night for someone that's here, and there you go. There's the shot right there. As you can see, that house has lost its roof about let's see, this could be about a quarter mile to the west of a quarter mile to the west of all of those factories on County Road 1000. That's where US 45 meets. And it looks like there's going to be some damage to some of those industrial buildings to the north there on that little parkway. So we're going to head back that way to the south of Dorrance and check here in a little bit. We're also going to reach out to officials here, see if there were any injuries. I bet this may have been where the homeowner could have been trapped, but we know there's other homes like this in the area too. So we're here, and we're going to get some information for you. I'll check back in. I know we've got that new tornado warning as well. At some point,
Jacob,
I can listen to you.
You've got a new...
If you all want me to drop to the south and watch that.
Yeah, you've got a new severe thunderstorm warning there with that
go
line.
For it. If you want me to drop south of that new... Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I see that there on radar, so I'll let the folks know here too, just so they're aware, and we'll maybe get a little closer. I can see some of that lightning to the west of me, and it's getting closer. So we will watch that and keep you updated, and we'll get another report coming here in a little bit.
Yeah, I just wanted to make mention of that storm. There's a line of storms right behind you, and so those first responders definitely need to watch out because that lightning is going to be coming in there. I know they're going to be out there, and that's probably going to be there in the next 15 minutes or so with how fast these are moving. That they just popped a severe thunderstorm warning on that whole line. It's more of a Boeing segment, but that could be kind of coming into your area there. So just kind of be on the lookout. Again, yeah, that clearly looks like that house there. You can see the roof there that has been taken off. Jacob is out there right now and giving us those reports. He is going to go out there and kind of maybe talk to some people, maybe also inform them, let them know, hey, you got another severe storm that's right behind you that's producing some lightning, and so to be careful out there. I want to make mention there's a lot of you that have been watching here with us online. And we appreciate everybody here who've been watching throughout the night from all across parts of Central Illinois. People even down in the St. Louis area that have family and whatnot, concerned about what's happened down there, that Amazon facility, bad weather down in Arkansas, St. Charles. It's been a really active night out there, and we're still not quite done. The southern part of our viewing area still have got a lot of warnings here that are in effect and just kind of a mess there still on the radar, Jack.
Yeah, we have our velocity pulled up. I have the velocity pulled up off the St. Louis radar once again because the tornado warning that we have for Fayette County, that would still be underneath their jurisdiction. But again, we've got a very good rotation couplet once again out of this. This is going to be kind of right along and south of I-70. So that's also a dangerous idea to think about too, is having a tornado track along the highway. And the way that it's moving, it'd be very close to the interstate, moving in about the same direction too. So we're going to keep an eye on that. This technically is in our far southern portions of our viewing area. technically just outside of it. It gets a little bit fuzzy south of I-70, but we're going to watch this one because, again, this is moving off to the northeast, still about 60 miles an hour. That could put it into the Effingham area in not that much time, maybe about a half hour or so. So we'll be looking at things to be still developing here with this storm. This is going to be, and you've been showing the Boeing segment, Kevin. This is the southern end of the Boeing segment. The actual northern end of the Boeing segment, where it kind of pushes out a bit more. That's where your strong straight line winds are. But on the southern end of it, as is typically the case, you get the rotation, and that's what we have right here.
Well, we're just getting in some devastating news out of Missouri, in St. Charles County, Missouri, near Defiance. Report of 2 injuries and 1 fatal. So a death that has occurred from the storms tonight. That is down in the St. Charles area on the west side there, western suburb there of St. Louis. It's going to be west of kind of the Chesterfield area, right there along the Missouri River. Defiance, there's a report coming into us, just came in. Defiance, 1 fatal, 2 injured, significant structure damage in Defiance, 1 confirmed fatality, 2 injuries. So these things tend to come out, you know, after a good amount of time. And unfortunately, I think there could be more with the storms we've had here tonight. We've not heard of anything here locally, okay?
And that, I mean, that could be this storm that we have the warning for, tornado warning for right now. That could have been that storm.
Yeah,
or the earlier ones that we had.
It's hard to tell here, you know, now. But you know, here's the thing: we've still got storms that I've got. Vandalia right now. I mean, that's a heck of a storm. That's on them right now. That's still got some rotation showing up with it. So you know, down there into Vandalia, it's just kind of they're just south is where some of that rotation is. But right there along I-70, and that thing's kind of tracking there to the north. You know, you're gonna have to watch out there. Effingham County, Altamont,
right?
St. Elmo. You know, this thing's gonna come into. We didn't really talk about Effingham County much because that storm kind of turned.
It turned
a little bit more northeast. So, you know, it didn't really get into Effingham County. So, you guys could be next. You know, have your round of severe weather here.
And that Boeing segment looks like it's. I mean, it looks healthy right now. And you know, for it to again go over spots that just got damaged, and now you're talking about more of a straight line wind event. That's just another. It's almost like the double whammy with maybe even getting more damage across portions of spots that just got hit.
Yeah, Windsor down to Strasburg. There's Highway 32 and some strong storms there. There's Gaze, where we just had the tornado come through, and where Jacob was at, where they're cleaning up some of that debris, and where the roof was off of the house. That is,
yeah, they're in line to get another round of storms, and for that to be happening in December, you know, usually it's going to be your one and done, but for us to get a repeat is just fascinating in terms of just the overall setup that we've had for today.
Yeah, again, all is clear. Champaign, you're good. Gibson City and Watsika and Decatur and Taylorville and Springfield and Lincoln and Clinton and Monticello and Argenta, all clear. St. Joe, Tolono, Villa Grove, you're good. Newman, Arcola, you're good. We're still watching southern portions of Coles County, Edgar County, Clark County, into Cumberland, obviously Effingham County down here, Fayette County, where we've still got the potential for some severe weather to occur.
And, you know, there still may be, we're looking on the radar, there are some little spotty rain showers off behind it, but that's not going to do anything. It might just even have a rumble of thunder at the most. So really, those spots that Kevin just called out, we should be done with our storms for the night.
Yeah, this is what's left of the tornado watch, and they're probably going to trim. They're going to be able to trim off a few more of those soon. That one little, you know, that one little band there, that Boeing segment is why you're holding on to Moultrie and Shelby and Coles and Cumberland, Edgar, Clark, and they have to hold on to Champaign and Vermilion because those counties are so big, and it's more of the southern portion of those counties just as a precaution. But you can see all the counties there. If your county was not highlighted there, you're definitely in the clear. But you know they're just still kind of holding on to. They can probably drop Champaign and Vermilion, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, and what is, I think, very good note, though, which just shows you that, you know, we're getting better and better and better every single year at forecasting these, is that mesoscale discussion that you showed, Kevin, a number of hours ago,
about it
showed the area of higher concern for some of the stronger, longer-lived tornadoes with a better chance of tornadoes is in the areas that we've been naming off, like Gaze and Mattoon, places like that.
It was right there. It was
on the money.
It was on the money. Moultrie, Coles County there. You know, it had it circled. You got to give props to the Storm Prediction Center for sure. They you know, came out with that thing, and about 45 minutes later, here we were talking about you know, these tornadoes that were just all over the place there and popping up quickly on radar there as well.
Yeah.
So there's our line. It's going to be coming in to Gaze right now, and then to Mattoon. Again, we can essentially put together the pieces in terms of where we probably had, you know, a tornado track go, because it started back here, past, I mean, it literally hugged right along Highway 16 north of Gaze and then went up here towards Mattoon. So we think this is probably going to be your tornado track. This red line here is most likely, you know, give or take, you know, half a mile in this direction or that direction, but that's where it was before it eventually kind of lifted. I don't know if it made it all the way across the 45 there. We haven't had any further reports downstream, but you can kind of just connect the dots. That's going to be your track of a tornado there. Just based off of the very little bit of damage that we've seen, we're not talking about houses wiped off their foundation. We're not, you know, talking about anything like that. So you're looking more along the lines of maybe an EF1 tornado with some of this. You know, we've got a roof off of a house, you know, maybe some grain bins that could have been damaged and whatnot. So, you know, you're more in that EF1 range, unless other reports have not come in that we don't know about. But that's what we're looking at. And unfortunately, some of the stuff down towards St. Louis, that could be a different story. Obviously, the building collapse in the Amazon facility is something that we've been talking about here. You're going to hear that'll be the big national story.
Yeah, with it going, you know, we've got 15 days until Christmas.
Oh, my goodness.
Everyone ordering their stuff, and it's stuck there. So, yeah, we'll be hearing about that one for quite a bit. You know, there are more storms that have tornado warnings just south of our viewing area, too, that have come out and south of the St. Louis area. So it's still going to be, especially for southern Illinois, it's still going to be a late night for them. Our night should not be as late. That being said, though, we still have to wait a little bit. We've got our severe thunderstorm warnings that still continue for Coles, Cumberland, Effingham, Jasper counties until 11:45, and then our tornado warning for it on the backside of it that does go until also 11:45 too. So that's still another half hour, and again, it's got good rotation on it at times. It's kind of cycling here and there. The rotation looks a lot more broad now than what it was when the warning first popped for it. But, you know, like we've seen, it will go through your cycles where it will weaken and then boom, the next frame or two, it's back up like we had as it went over the Gaze area.
All right, so Jacob is back here with us. Jacob, you're north of Mattoon right now. What do you got?
Yeah, hey, Kevin, this is one of those factories, and I can't get the name on my phone. I'm uploading some video to Latitude. It should be on the way and finished uploading very shortly. But this tornado did, in fact, cross Highway 45. If you look on the map where the County Road 1000 is, just to the north of that, there's a mobile home park. That park got missed by this tornado by no more than a quarter to half a mile, if that. That video that we're coming in here, and it should be darn close to being uploaded, is going to show you as well. There was a mobile home that was pushed off its foundation. It stayed upright, but it had significant damage, and a shed was blown to the ground. I also want to mention in this area here, behind me is 45. We're looking at this factory where there's some roof damage here, and we're working on more information. I'm going to go talk to some folks in a minute. But there is damage now to the east of 45 that we can confirm. How far to the east? I don't see a whole lot more lights over there at this point. You've been seeing those lights all through the area. we'll go back over and look a little bit and head to the east here. We're about half mile south of Dorrance. It's a small little community. 45 is open at this time. You'll see some debris there in this area, but they're still working in surrounding areas. I want to mention the video should be uploaded, so Jack can get that here shortly, hopefully. I was told by firefighters in the scene that everyone was okay. There were people home. They took shelter. They were listening to us. They were listening to the warnings. They got to shelter and they're okay, so that's good news. There's no injuries to report at that scene. We don't know about other areas, but that lightning's getting closer and closer now. I think you may have saw the edge of that flash there as this next warning comes on in. Something else I'm thinking about doing, and if y'all want to let me know if you think it's a good idea, I'm thinking about dropping south to Effingham because I have some concerns for that southern storm for Effingham, Watson, Altamont, the Alton Warehouse, that's what it is, yeah. That's this facility we're at. But I want to talk more about that southern area and head down south to Effingham because I'm really concerned about that storm there too. So we're going to make a decision. If you get that video, I can narrate you through it. It's about 40-50 seconds showing up close some of the damage there. But we're going to keep you updated here in parts of Coles County and make a decision on if we're going to drop south to Effingham County for that next storm. Reporting here near Dorrance, north of Mattoon on 45, I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. We're going to send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks a lot, Jacob. Appreciate the report. The Alton warehousing is where you're located there. They're on Alton Way there. That, like you said, that's right there on 45, just north of town, north of... just north of town there on 45. Like you said, looks like, you know, some damage there, but how far north... Light may have to tell the story tomorrow before we hear any more about that. I can tell you right now, as we kind of look at the radar, we are still watching our storm down here in Fayette and Effingham County. That storm just getting ready to cross I-57 and I-70 to US 45. All of those areas are going to see, you know, a pretty strong storm there with lots of lightning. You can see there's your lightning strikes. I will say, as I look at the velocity, the strong winds, I'm not seeing, you know, this is, you know, kind of a Boeing segment, but I'm not seeing just outrageous winds with any of this. Still a very strong storm coming through, and you just got to look really close to try to see if there's any rotation. You know, I was looking at that same area, just southwest of Neoga.
Yeah, there's a little bit of some rotation there. You know, you got the Stewartson area again there, that Strasburg kind of right there. We're looking at that just off to the west of I-57 where there's a little bit more in the way of some velocity, showing a little bit of rotation. So that's the reason why it's a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag with it. There very well could be the possibility of a brief little spin-up tornado that would occur within this line of storms. But it does not have the rotation like the tornado warning has down to the southwest from there.
Okay, very good. I think hopefully here in just a little bit, we're going to be able to pull up Jacob's video here that he had sent in to us. So hopefully we'll be able to pull that up here in just a little bit, and he can talk to us about kind of what he is seeing out there. But right now, the biggest concern obviously is going to be for still that little line segment that is down there between Effingham and Neoga. And we're going to keep watching that. Jacob, what do you got down there?
Hey, Kevin, I'm at that facility. I just talked to some firefighters. First off, I'm going to turn this a little bit and see if you can see the side of the building has been blown off of this facility, and we're going to point some things out to you. I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing, so we'll do the best we can. You can see the side here has been blown out. The tornado passed through here. There's a tower or something right here that has debris hanging from it, and the tornado continued to the north and east. I just spoke to firefighters. They said so far they have no injuries, but they did tell me that there is damage extending far past Interstate 57, and we were told that there is significant damage in the east side of Dorrance. I don't want to use the words he said until I get there to see it myself, but we're going to head to Dorrance, the east side, get some more images there, and I really hope you'll stick with me here for a little bit, as now the rain from that second severe thunderstorm warning now coming on down into the area. But this facility is taking hit. Dorrance is taking hit. East of 57, that's going to be to the north of Sarah Bush Medical Center. There is supposedly some damage there from what I've been told by firefighters. So I want to send it back to you guys in the studio. We're going to go check the Dorrance area out and get more information. Thankfully, they're reporting no injuries at this time. Out in Coles County, I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. We'll send it back to you.
Jacob, I do have your video up here from that house there. I've got your video up. If you want to talk about it, it looks like pretty good house there with the roof that's off, that white house.
Yeah, you are right about that. There was some pretty substantial damage to that house. The house itself was a brick house. Behind it was a mobile home, and then behind that was a shed, and that shed was leveled. The mobile home was pushed. It looked like it had been turned. I can't tell if it was facing east-west or north-south, but it ended up sitting northwest-southeast in that orientation. And so there'll be some cleanup there. There's going to be some cleanup here as well. And we're going to continue into the Dorrance area where we've been told there's more damage off to the east. If that's the case, this tornado from Gaze to east of 57 here. In fact, I'm passing by some power lines, a lot of insulation from that building now. There's going to be a large swath of damage to investigate here over the next several days. Kevin?
All right, thanks a lot, Jacob. So it looks like a possible tornado on the ground, maybe 10 to 15 miles, okay? That's what we can tell from our early estimates here. That started from between Windsor and Gaze, stretched through Mattoon, and then past 45 and 57, it sounds like. And we're going to see where Jacob's headed next. He did hear some reports there, possibly some damage up there. We'll see what he encounters here as he heads. He's not too far away from there, so he'll be there here pretty soon.
He's in the Dorrance area.
Yeah, in the Dorrance area.
Yeah.
So he's going to be there pretty, but you can see the damage the way that we've had. Okay, just briefly want to come back here to the radar because pretty good little storm there from Effingham right along 57 between Neoga down towards north of east of Paradise, and they're between Mattoon. So he's going, I'll show you where he's going. He's right there. There's the Dorrance area. That's where Jacob is heading. Okay, so that's going to be kind of north, let's just say that, the track again here, we're just doing this kind of loosely, kind of up here. But if you remember, we were talking about, that storm seems to be like going a little bit northeast. It kind of turned a little bit. So if there is some damage up there, it could have kind of made a little bit of a left turn and it was turning a little bit more to the northeast if he's going to go out there and find some more of that damage. So that was earlier. Tonight, let's back that off. We'll bring this back. There's still a severe thunderstorm. That severe thunderstorm warning, that whole thing does still have that tornado possible tag.
Yeah, I'm not seeing as much in the way of little nooks here and there in terms of what we typically see where you get your little notches that could produce a brief little spin up. There's not as much of it there. There are still some areas of some rotation that still do show up here and there. But we're also kind of far away at this point from the radar. We'll say, though, that there is still an area of rotation that we can see that is moving through Fayette County with our velocity, and so there's likely still the potential for a tornado to drop and touch down in Fayette County, and it's going to be, again, right along and probably just south of I-70. So we're also still looking at a dangerous situation there in terms of that. But the rotation has become, it's still there, it's just not as sharp and as tight as it used to be. So hopefully that will still continue to weaken there. Still, though, looking at the severe thunderstorm warning box, again, brief little spin up is possible within that initial leading edge of those stronger winds.
Severe thunderstorm warning continues. Effingham County, Cumberland County, and into southern portions of Coles County. You can obviously see the strongest part of that right there along 57. A rough drive right now on 57. Lots of heavy rainfall. Tons of lightning there showing up with this. And all of that is moving off here to the north. Let's check the movement on what do we got here on that? Is that thing still?
These are still moving off to the east here at around, let's check this out here.
Movement of these at about
60 or 70.
Are they really? Okay.
Yeah, so this is still.
Here's the thing: we're going to put this thing into Indiana by midnight.
Yeah.
Probably at that pace. You'll notice there says West Terre Haute 1:09 a.m. Well, of course they're an hour ahead. So you know, a little after midnight, this thing should be into Indiana, which is good news. And then most likely once that area there can clear, you know, we've still got to watch kind of this southern guy, but you know, even that, you know, 12:30, 1 o'clock, all of this is going to be out of here, and we're going to be completely done with the severe weather. There's so many of you. There's what, 75% of you that are all in the clear here tonight already.
Right.
We're just looking at this last little corridor of storms currently crossing I-57 and US 45 into Coles, Cumberland County right now. Going to be storming pretty good there into green up here before too long. And coming into the northwest side of Effingham as we speak. They had, you know, a tornado warning with that in Fayette County. They've clearly opted not to carry that into Effingham County. So they're probably just going to stick with that, which, you know, from what we can see, you know, lines up pretty good. But we're getting close here, Jack, to where things are going to be wrapping up here.
And more of the counties have been pulled from the tornado watch. So we've got it as basically kind of our southeastern corner. And again, Champaign, Vermilion counties probably would be the next one pulled, to be quite honest. But Montgomery and Macoupin counties, those counties which were quite active this evening with tornado warnings, have now been pulled from that tornado watch. So we do have a all clear for those who are not in the tornado watch anymore. Again, keep in mind, the entire viewing area was once underneath this tornado watch. So a number of counties have been pulled. That just shows that their chances for storms, and especially severe storms, is now over. Maybe some rain showers pop in tonight, but at this point, Kevin, most of the rain is going to come from the storms that we have out there. And for those of you in the clear, it's pretty dry behind that. It's still very warm. We still do have winds that are very strong out of the south, and so our winds, even though you've seen the storms pass by, a lot of middle and upper 60s are still out there for our temperatures, and our winds are still coming in out of the south direction, more out of the southwest at this point, up to around 30 miles an hour.
All right, Jack, appreciate it here. There's our line of storms that continue to move across here tonight. Again, appreciate everybody here. It's just a little past 11:30 on this Friday night. It's been a long night for many here. Still, we're not over yet. I just want to thank everybody who has been here with us online, whether it's WCIA.com and our news or weather app, on Facebook or Twitter, wherever you have found us here tonight. Thanks for sticking here with us. We try to pass along as much information as we can as it comes in and do our best to track the storms. Jacob's been out there tonight as well. Jacob, you were trying to make your way up towards the Dorrans area. Did you find anything up there?
Yeah, Kevin, so there is more damage to the north and east from that factory approaching Interstate 57. I came across some lines down on 1100 North Road. That's 1 mile north of the factory that got hit here. And there's a lot of insulation in this field here and a lot of debris in this area from that area. I'm going to flip this around and show you real quick. The railroad crossing lights, because of the power is out there, actually half down, half up in this area, and so we've had to work with local law enforcement and get around it. There's folks with lines down now towards Interstate 57, and it seems like the damage maybe tapers off to the east of there. They're still looking in those areas, but the worst of the damage is going to be just to the north and west of Mattoon, right where that debris signature picked on up. What I want to do real quick is I kind of want to hash out a little plan with you guys. We've gotten some reports from this area, but I'm wondering if I need to head to the south a little bit and head down towards Effingham County at this point. I've got a quick escape to the interstate, and Effingham isn't that far, and if that's what we need to do, let me know. Otherwise, we can keep looking for more damage in this area from what was the tornado here. So we'll watch it. We're going to keep you updated. Just let me know your thoughts, and we can kind of chat about that a little bit here on TV. Kevin?
Okay. Yeah, you know, I mean, here's the thing, you know, these storms, we haven't had anything come out of any of the other storms here into Effingham County. There's nothing down there yet. They're not looking as impressive as we had earlier, that's for sure. you know, the reports that we've gotten in have all really been confined to the area that you've been tracking here tonight. Did you say that you did hear that in Oakland over there that there wasn't any damage over there in northeastern Coles County?
Yeah, let me just double check that text for you real quick. This is from my friend Nick Turner. He and I went to school together at U of I. He's from there. The Oakland town is good, a little debris. The mayor and engineer are with him. They have not made it past city limits, but it does not appear that there's major damage to town there. So I'm going to text him back and see if I get some more information. And I'm sure we maybe have some viewers in that area too that can let us know if they've heard things. But by and large, it really seems like tonight the hammer has come down on Coles County where most of this damage is. In fact, right here, I'll turn the camera around. More first responders responding to the scenes now here from surrounding departments now, moving on in. That's going to be Humboldt Fire now heading back to the south and west because of power lines and some of the damage to structures in this area. So we'll keep looking a little bit. We may make the drive to the south, and we'll check back with you. I'd lost radar data here, and so I wanted to check in with you. You got eyes on it. I know that first line has come through, and we should hopefully be done here in this area for the night, but I'll let you guys make the final say on that.
Yeah, you're good right now. I'm not seeing anything. You know, maybe just kind of hang around there just for a little bit longer, and we're probably going to be wrapping up coverage here before too long. We want to stay. We know we've got some viewers that are down in Effingham, that are down that way into Cumberland County, so we want to stick with those guys here. Obviously, we've still got these severe thunderstorm warnings in effect with the tornado possible tag, but we'll check back in here within just a little bit and see if you've come across anything else. I want to say this to our viewers that have been watching us online and on TV and everything. Your reports, listen, I'll be the first to admit, we don't always know everything. We rely a lot upon what you guys hear. Your eyes and ears in your own backyards, and your reports are very valuable to us as well to let us know what's going on, what the situation is. And if you have those reports, I encourage you to drop a line, if you can, to our email, news@wcia.com, on our Facebook page, on Twitter. We're live streaming right now on the chat. I've actually got the chat pulled up here to my right. You know, every once in a while, being able to look down at some of your messages and whatnot. And so your guys' reports are definitely very helpful. So if you have damage, if you've heard of other damage besides the areas we've been, like Mattoon and the Gaze area, or other things that have happened, let us know. So we can also pass those along to the National Weather Service. The Weather Service wants to know this because they want to be able to go back tomorrow and Monday to go and track down what happened. Where were there tornadoes? Where were there wind damage? You know, where was all of that? So if you have those reports, they're very valuable, not just to us, but the Weather Service, so they can go out and do damage surveys. So they can go out and rate, hey, was this an EF0? Was it an EF1 tornado? So I just want to encourage you guys, we love your reports. Help us out here. Let us know what you see or if you've heard something. You know, we really appreciate it. Jacob, is that from earlier, his shot on the left, or is that live right now? Oh, okay, that's live right now. Okay, so I was seeing some of that debris. It looks like insulation there again.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna turn around so we can see it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So he's turning around here right now. I was gonna say I could have sworn I saw that debris, but he had similar video. It seemed like earlier. Where's that debris that you're seeing there, Jacob?
Yeah, this is going to be by the Alton Delivery Services building here, and if I turn the camera to the left, that's the factory that got hit. And when we pass it to the north, just full of insulation. Starting to see debris at this point. It may have been about a quarter mile, if not a little wider than that at this point. You can see some of those power lines that are down here to my right from that. And lots of little sheet metal in the trees. More fire departments looking like they're coming into this area here to my left on one of the county roads. And so you're going to see here, now we're starting to get to that center part of the debris field with a lot of this insulation on the side of the road on Highway 45. The road is clear, but, you know, it's still something you want to stay home tonight if you can and let those crews get to the scenes and assess things and whatnot. And see if you can turn to the right a little bit. All along here, a lot of this roofing material, a lot of this insulation. And I look at the building, and it looks like the building to my left now It looks like the north and east sides are pretty heavily damaged here. That large open-span metal building from the Alton Delivery Services here north of Mattoon. We've just exited that debris field now, so we gave you a view of that. I think I'm going to drop south, Kevin, and at least get into the Mattoon-Charleston area just to kind of reset, take care of some things, and be ready if I need to get down to Cumberland County. You're right, we're watching downstream for those folks, and we're keeping an eye on it, and we'll continue to do so here throughout the rest of the night. Live north of Mattoon, I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. We'll send it back to you.
Okay, so you're down there. Because that debris that's down there, that's pretty extensive. That's down there, and that's that Alton warehouse. You were showing all of the insulation there. What I want to do, I'm just going to show you. It's dark, but this is the normal view there of what that building would look like. We just got this pulled up here on the Google Maps there. So obviously the building there that you see, obviously, you know, part of the side of that, and I think this is where Jacob was in this view, right? He was about right there, right? And so, and it was this side of the building, right? I think that was ripped off there. So the insulation, all the insulation you were seeing was from that right there, that Alton warehousing that is there north of Mattoon. So that's the building that has sustained some of the damage and has, where Jacob was just driving, all of that debris. You can see it right there again on his screen. Look at that. Take a look at it if we can take his shot. I mean, he's trying to adjust his camera, but all of that insulation from that Alton warehousing there, you can see all of the first responders that are out there. We'll just make mention too, you know, there's a reason why we're still on here and we're doing this tonight, and there's a reason why we send Jacob or Jack, you know, or any of us that go out and do this, is to bring you guys the coverage the best that we can, so that you guys don't go out, people don't go out and interfere with the first responders, what they're trying to do, and you know we're able to reach obviously a larger audience here. So we encourage people, please let the first responders you know, do their job. Don't go out there gawking, trying to, you know, see what's going on. You know, we're bringing you these pictures and reports for you, and so we just want to kind of reiterate that, because we appreciate all those first responders on a Friday night here in December, out there doing their jobs. Obviously, many areas have sustained damage here tonight, and we're bringing you those pictures here, the live coverage of severe weather that's moved through parts of central Illinois. Coles County hit pretty hard here, there between Windsor and the Gaze area and up towards Mattoon. So many of those reports coming into us here. All right.
And we might have a new tornado warning that might come here pretty soon in Effingham County. We've got very good velocity showing up here. Well, they just popped a new severe thunderstorm warning for it. That one is tornado possible tag with it still too.
There is some, yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's there, right there. And it's basically right there on I-70, US 40, kind of right there by the Dexter and Funkhauser areas, which is just going to be off to the west-southwest of Effingham as you head on over, make the drive to St. Louis. But
yeah, that storm definitely has got that rotation. You're exactly right, Jack. And it's right there on the west side too. So let's hope this thing doesn't ramp up, because if it does,
it's going to go right over town.
It's going to go right over town. If you're watching us in Effingham right now, listen, just as a precaution, why not?
Yep, it's treated as a tornado.
It is. It's treated as it, because you've got the severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible tag. Jack pointed that out. He's right on the money with it, with the rotation that is showing up, and you can see it. I'm just going to switch it over. There it is. Yeah. See the reds and the greens right there. There's your tornado possible over Funkhauser and coming into Effingham.
And we've got, you know, these warnings now, these warnings go until you know, 12:45 in the morning. So but these are going to be moving very fast once again. Let me click on that one to get the speed, because it's again going to be very, very quick. 65 miles an hour, and it's got radar estimated or radar indicated winds of 60 miles an hour. So it's almost moving faster than its winds are. But with that rotation on there, we just got to be careful. Because we can sometimes get these spin-ups that occur with these storms, and that velocity, couple it on there, looks to be like there could be something there at some point.
All right, very good. Yeah, Jack, we're keeping an eye on it. Here's the thing: we've got viewers. We know we've got a lot of viewers that are down in the Effingham area, you know, that are down there, and you know, a lot of times kind of wondering. you know, hey, are you guys going to stick with us? We're going to stick with you here tonight. We got you covered down in Effingham County, down here into Clark and Cumberland County. As these storms continue to move through, we're not going to be done until the threat has completely passed all of our viewers here that watch us. But yeah, the Effingham area, literally here in the next few minutes, we're going to know if this thing has done anything. Let's see here. Getting an ASOS report, or basically a weather station report. Okay, that's out of Paris. Of probably over 60-mile-an-hour winds. So that would that have been that had to have been obviously earlier, right? Or no, that could be right now. Yeah, that could be right now, I guess. Yeah, there's a little segment that's right over there. So we've got Jacob. He's down there. He's down there in Coles County. He may try to make his way down to Cumberland County, maybe towards Toledo, between Toledo, Effingham, somewhere down there. Going to kind of get in position to see if this storm does anything else. But definitely still a storm to watch for us here tonight as we kind of just monitor things closely. With that tornado still possible out there tonight. Let's see, some of these reports are starting to come in. We've got some power lines down Beecher City. That's going to be over here. Beecher City up here. Power lines down as that storm came through. So that report just coming into us here. So we've got some strong winds up in Edgar County. We've got some strong winds that have taken down some power lines in Beecher City. And I would not be surprised if in Effingham right now we might have a little something going on. Still some of that rotation is being evident on radar here tonight. Let's go ahead and kind of show that to you here again. There it is. Got some of those reds and greens right next to one another. It's not as strong as what we had earlier, but that's still a very strong storm. There's still broad rotation on it, and the thing is literally passing right over the Effingham area here as we speak. So we need to be monitoring that, which we are. If you're out there tonight, that storm is literally about to come right over the top of you. I don't like kind of seeing the little bit of a he's trying to curve a little bit there, turn to that little kidney bean kind of down here. Little notch trying to show up. We'll have to just keep monitoring that. Hopefully this can get past. But here's the thing. After Effingham, you've got Teutopolis. After Teutopolis, you've got Montrose right there. All those areas there that along, what is that, 40 and 50 or 70, I should say. And then those go into Cumberland and Jasper County as well. So we're watching all of those areas still just to show you. Villa Grove, Camargo, Tuscola, Arcola, Humboldt, you're all in the clear. I'll even give a clear to the Charleston, Mattoon area as far as the severe weather goes. Lerna, Windsor, Strasburg. Now, we're still watching these storms down here near Beecher City where they had that wind damage earlier, power lines down. I'd still hold on, obviously, here anywhere east of Effingham into southern Cumberland County. You are not clear yet. Jasper County not clear. Neither is Clark County. You guys are still going to get some of that. There's Edgar County, southern portions of Edgar County, so Paris. And then you get over there as you cross over Route 1. And right there along 150, you're still going to be dealing with some strong storms between Paris and the Vermilion area. But if you're in northern Vermilion or northern Edgar County, you're in the clear. You should be good. Georgetown, Danville is all good as well. Oakland is good. We'll hold tight there in Kansas. But still a strong storm coming into Westfield, about to come into Casey, about to come into the Jewett Greenup area, about to roll through Teutopolis and Montrose and north of Dietrich. Right now, the strongest storm is over Effingham. There's rotation literally right over Effingham. It is broad, but it is definitely showing up. If you were seeing this in the daytime, I bet you would be seeing a wall cloud, possibly a rotating wall cloud with that, or at least some rotation within the storm. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. That's kind of where we stand here as we come up on 11:47 p.m. here tonight. We're really hoping to be done with these storms. Well, let's just kind of look at it here, and we'll draw the path along into the west, and we'll put that at that 58 miles an hour. So we're still looking at these storms really getting into Indiana in the next 30 minutes or so. Possibly still tracking along here on the south side to Effingham, Jasper, Crawford counties. But we really think that a lot of this is going to start to clear the area within the next 30 to 45 minutes, get these storms out of here and be done with this. Unfortunately, though, there's going to be cleanup efforts that will be ongoing as we head throughout the course of the day tomorrow, through the weekend. I will say this, Jack, if you could confirm with me, the weather this weekend, the rest of it looks pretty calm, right?
Looks pretty calm. Yeah, I was going through social media to see, with it being late at night, we didn't really get a whole lot. We did get one video. I'm trying to confirm where it was from, because it actually does show a tornado develop and touch down. It's pretty cool, but I don't know. I don't want to post it yet until I know where it's from and when it was from. So
yeah, there were a lot of storms tonight. There were storms in Missouri. There were storms, down in St. Louis area. There was, anything tonight would have been tough. Listen, we had our own out. Jacob was on the tornado, probably a mile behind it. And all he could get were power flashes. You would have had to be, So these are rain wrapped. These things are moving at 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So yeah, video, possibly, probably a better chance of that maybe down near St. Louis. But so yeah.
And then definitely, when you wake up tomorrow and you have the light of day, and you have our WCIA 3 weather app, send us a picture if you do have some damage and you can safely take a picture of some of your damage. Send it through the WCIA 3 weather app. It's a great tool to use and to share that. In terms of getting a lot of pictures, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And this time was not one of those cases, just because it's late at night. These things are moving fast, and hopefully too, people just stayed inside and just were listening, because these had the potential for damage, and that's exactly what has happened.
Okay, got a new report that came in 2 miles southwest of Gaze. Fire Department Rescue reports the FS plant.
Yeah, I just got that too. The FS
was destroyed along Route 16 west of Gaze. So the FS plant west of Gaze. See if we can pull that. Oh, and let's go to Jacob. That FS plant there, right along 16, just southwest of Gaze. Jacob, you would have drove by that, right? You would have drove by that. So, Jacob, tell us about Oakland, and then tell us about that FS plant that got hit.
Yes. Start with Oakland first. We've got a confirmation from the mayor and a city engineer there. The town itself has minor damage. There is some structural damage outside of town, but they're not reporting major problems there. So that's good news to hear. They're going to go out and survey more at daylight. And so that tells me everyone's okay there. And then the FS plant, if you remember when we were on air with the power flashes in front of me, that was where the FS plant was. There was about a 1.5 mile or so stretch of the highway with power lines down that we had to snake around to get to the east there. And I tell you what, I remember seeing that on the side of the highway, the shadow of something. But in the thick of the battle, the tornado's in front of you, and that's what we're more looking at and seeing the power lines and trying to drive. So yeah, very familiar with that, and I'm not surprised by that, because when I came across it and then saw the tornado, definitely was a very sizable tornado, and definitely would have done some fairly significant damage in that area. Did a little more investigating past to the east of 57 as well on the eastern extent with that tornado, and I didn't see a whole lot of activity beyond Interstate 57, so there may be some minor damage over there, but the core of the damage will be from to the east side of Windsor, where that FS plant is, to Gaze, to the northwest side of Mattoon past the Rural King plant, the Rural King Distribution Center, and then up to the north there near the Mattoon Business Park, the County Road 1000 exit for the Mattoon Enterprise Parkway there. So that's where the core of that damage is for our area. I'll tell you what, Kevin, I have a feeling that you might be heading out with your drone video tomorrow to check out some of these areas, and we'll be able to bring some viewers some more video, and of course viewers sending us photos on the app is very helpful as well. So we're going to watch. We're going to keep an updates on those areas. We're going to drive south a little bit just to watch for our friends in Cumberland County here. I'm now near Lerna. Lerna Road is where I'm just passing there, heading south on Lincoln Highway Road. So we're about 13 miles from Toledo itself. I can see quite a bit of lightning in front of us, a lot of damage. You've mentioned that mass casualty incident at the Amazon plant. There also was another one of those mass casualty incidents in northeast Arkansas. I don't know if you saw an email come from that from some of our sister stations, a nursing home that had injuries and fatalities reported in that area there. So we were not the only ones to be hit tonight. The damage is far and wide. Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, and through the night, at one point, I think I saw flash by a tornado emergency in Kentucky. There are several states that are going to be seeing damage, and we're going to learn a lot more throughout the weekend of the damage, the injuries, and unfortunately some of the fatalities that have come from this weekend, this nighttime event here across the Mid-South and the Midwest here, the Mid-Mississippi River Valley. We're going to keep snaking our way towards Toledo. We'll have another update coming up soon on that. In the meantime, Kevin, you said thank you to a lot of viewers. I want to thank you guys as well for helping get myself and get the viewers as well. You and Jack in the phenomenal job keeping people safe, guys, to help keep me safe with that severe storm. So hats off to you guys in the studio, and hats off to our production folks too for sticking around late with us as we continue to watch these storms for those folks here in Central Illinois. We're going to send it back to you in the studio now here to near Lerna. I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Back to you.
Yeah, Jacob, no, thank you for being out there. I know a lot of people, look at us sometimes when we go out and we're out there and we're chasing the storms or tracking the storms. What are you doing? We do it for a reason. We do it for purpose. Pass along this information, get you the best coverage we can, pass along information. We love our jobs, love what we do, and we love to be able to provide this service to everyone out there. And I just wanted to show you this here as well. On the storm tracker, when we kind of look at this map here, so that's Gaze right there. That FS plant, we can see it when I zoom in. We're going to zoom in. That's right along 16. That FS plant is right there, okay? That's the FS plant. It's right along 16. And then when we look at it, here's what it actually looks like from the roadway before there was any damage. I'm going to pull that up here, and you're going to see what it is. If you just bear with me here for a second, as I've lost my view of that. It's coming up here in a second. Here is the normal view of that plant there. So that's 16 there. So that has sustained damage. That FS plant right there, south and west of Gaze, is where there's also been damage here tonight. That has been confirmed. A storm report that's coming here. Okay, let's go back to the radar here because we just want to get another update of what's going on. Yeah, Jack, what do you got over there?
We still got until 12:45 here for Clark, Cumberland, Edgar, Effingham counties. Still has the tornado possible tag with it. Still trying to see at times some of that velocity, and over the Effingham area, it did look like, again, we had, that little bit of rotation like I saw. It's still there, kind of right there along I-70, kind of right by the St. Francis area there too. Would have just passed over the Two Topless area just a few moments ago. It's a broad area of rotation, but that's the reason why we still have an area of severe thunderstorms that can still produce a tornado possible with it, and that's why we have this type of warning out there for it. They keep on looking at that that rotation down there, right there, coming into the St. Francis area.
Looks like Montrose is a pretty good little rotation there, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so we're trying to just, again, get these storms to be weaker and move into more of Indiana. The problem is, though, is that we still have these little indentations here and there, and that's where we can have, at times, a brief little spin-up tornado. Everywhere else, that looks to be okay as I zoom in on various spots, but
yeah, there's still some pockets of strong
pockets.
Winds,
yeah.
But like the rotation, the areas of rotation are few and far between. We've got this area here near Montrose, east of Teutopolis. That's where we've got some rotation that's still kind of showing up right there. There's your storm. But look at that. Things starting to clear Effingham County now. I mean, that storm's getting into Cumberland County now. Mm-hmm. And I think Jacob is approaching the Toledo area here before too long. He would be in position if this thing wanted to do something.
Right.
Because the one area of rotation that we do have is the one that is southwest of Toledo by Oh, 7 or 8 miles or so as the crow flies. And then you've got the storms that are still rolling through Paris right now. We've had some people saying, oh, it's really windy in Paris. It's good, you know, and you can see there are some stronger winds there as that little line comes across Route 1 through Oliver here in Marshall before too long, Martinsville, Casey. But the one area, the only area that actually showing those reds and greens next to one another, which would indicate rotation, is this area right here near Montrose, and moving off to the north and to the east. Handful of severe thunderstorm warnings still left here tonight. And
it's still very mild too. These temperatures, you know, it's 11:58 right now. Normally, when you have a storm pass you by, it cools down, and it's not happened. We still have a temperature in Effingham of 66 degrees right now. It's 62 in Champaign. It's the warmest it's been in Champaign all day, and it's 11:58 at night. So we are very close to breaking record highs. Maybe even some of these end up being records. We'll check them later. But we're very close to breaking record highs for today, and it occurs at 11:58 at night. And these temperatures are not going to cool down until 4 or 5 o'clock or so. And so there's no cold front just yet with these storms. So really we're looking at the big cool down here to occur between 4 and 5 o'clock. Our winds are going to be extremely strong for the day tomorrow. Our temperatures in the afternoon will be in the upper 30s and low 40s, even though once we cross over into midnight here in a minute, we'll have our highs for the day that'll be in the 60s. But there is a wind advisory for many counties, our northeastern corner specifically, from 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. And our winds could be gusting up to around 50 miles an hour coming in out of the west behind this big low that has produced heavy snow in Minnesota. And then we have our tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings across a lot of the Midwest going down into the southeast.
All right, Jack. Boy, it's been a busy night here for sure. Okay, we are literally hitting the stroke of midnight right now. It is midnight here. It is now Saturday morning, and we're still tracking severe thunderstorms for you here at the midnight hour as storms push through Cumberland, out of Effingham County, and into portions of southern Edgar and Clark County. I want to give some all clears here because I think we're good down here in Effingham now, in Effingham County, from Altamont, you know, pretty much the entire Effingham County area. Let's just call it, you guys are good. That storm now is firmly in Cumberland County, so the area of concern is Toledo to Greenup right now. In the KZ area along I-70 to the Martinsville and Marshall areas. Otherwise, you're all clear there in Coles County. Charleston, Mattoon, no problems there tonight. Obviously, you're good in Champaign and in Danville tonight as the storms have come to an end in Shelbyville. And I think we're all good as these counties continue to drop off. We're just holding on to a few more warnings here that are left as these storms move through Cumberland and Clark counties. And within the next half an hour, we'll be absolutely done with all of these storms. We're just keeping an eye on this last little bit that is rolling through. There was some rotation that was trying to show up, very weak, albeit rotation, but something that we were monitoring there that was near Toledo, where there were potentially are some stronger winds, if nothing else, showing up. But other than that, that is going to be kind of the brunt of what we're looking at, and even that is not looking too impressive other than just some strong winds there. So hopefully we're going to be done here before too long. Still severe thunderstorm warnings for portions of Clark, Cumberland, and Edgar counties. Dropping off, that is going to be Effingham, and hopefully we're going to be done here before too long.
Yeah, I just was checking on social media, Kevin. I was talking about that one video that looked impressive. It actually ended up being the Edwardsville tornado, and so that would be the one that we've talked about earlier, where it hit the Amazon fulfillment center, and where you also reported that there was people trapped inside there. So
I think that's a good point to make is, you know, we've been tracking storms tonight. We've had damage tonight.
Yep.
but we have not heard of any injuries or deaths here in central Illinois. That is not the case in parts of Missouri. We were talking about some areas near Defiance of a fatality there, and some at that Amazon facility there.
In Arkansas.
Well, in Arkansas,
with
yeah.
that
Nursing home.
Nursing home.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And it just, when you get a setup like this in December, you know just from experience that it's just not going to end up good, you know. And it was, you know, we have what we call busts, where sometimes we think there's going to be a lot of active weather and then it doesn't end up showing up. This was definitely not a bust.
Had the feeling.
Sure.
What did I tell you when I came in today?
Yeah, we had the feeling. I mean, it was that fog that we had this morning. Something just didn't feel right, and you know, we'll have to see the full extent of the damage tomorrow. It will have our weekend crews trying to get as much of that as possible. But yeah, it'll be some spots unfortunately have to clean up, and especially it's hard at any point in the year, but especially hard in the holidays. It's tough. It's tough.
Well, it is, and you know, I mean, obviously, you know, hopefully people are going to understand. You know, an Amazon facility got taken out. There may be some gifts that, you know, may not make it there for Christmas, and hopefully people understand. And you know, that's, you know, that's a big thing down there to get hit, and people trapped and injured and possibly killed. So yeah, definitely a bad situation. Again, that was down near Edwardsville, and you know, the activity there in Missouri and in Arkansas. Let's hope we've been spared from any injuries or fatalities here. We've not heard of any. You know, and a lot of times that information does lag behind a little bit, but we've had some time here where the storms have really kind of passed through, and you know, hopefully we've gotten the reports here locally and we've not heard anything, so that's some good news. Lots of property damage that people will be picking up through the weekend here, but let's hope that, again, you know, you can always replace property and valuables. You know, for the most part.
Just to tell you about the, you know, the delay in some of the reports. You know, a new report just came down from the Sangamon County Capitol Airport of a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust at 8:33. You know, which was almost 4 hours ago. So we do sometimes get these reports coming in very much delayed, but as of right now, we have not heard anything involving any serious injuries.
Well, we got Jacob. We're still putting him through the paces down there with the storms. He's in the thick of it. He's in the big red mark on the radar that says Toledo. Jacob.
Hey, Kevin, I tell you what, the wind here is really impressive. I still see some power on, but I'm having a hard time seeing the road. I'm going 20 miles an hour right now here. I'm about a mile or so north of downtown Toledo and making my way to the south here. The wind is blowing from southwest to northeast. So I'm in the midst of the storm. If there was still an area of rotation, that's going to be to the south of me. So we're kind of coming from north to south here, straight south into Toledo. And, okay, the road curves here a little bit. Got to watch that. So here we go. We're now into the city limits. Still have power here. A lot of heavy rain with this storm, though. The wind blowing pretty good. I guess we probably got some gusts of 30 to 40. The rainfall rates are very impressive with this, too. It's a good thing as well that these storms are moving quickly, because they were putting down some heavy rain in a short period of time. That fast motion has really kept us not even from having to worry about a flooding threat here. So definitely still quite a storm in Cumberland County. We're here, we're monitoring, and we're here with you through the night in Cumberland County and Toledo. I'll make my way over towards Greenup and then down on Interstate 70, perhaps sneak on over to Casey before I head back to the north there to push these storms to the state line, get them out of the way so we can refresh and get a couple of hours of sleep before the morning show tomorrow at 8 a.m. with more updates for you there. So just wanted to share that update now. It's weird. You know, when I was down in Mississippi, we chased severe weather during the winter months all of the time, and seeing Christmas lights up makes me feel like I'm more in the south than anything. This event really was a southern type of severe weather event for the winter months as well. Of course, it's Illinois. You guys talked about how anomalous it was. And that's very much been the case here as we've watched through the night. The rain's still coming down good here in Cumberland County. Check out this nice view, Kevin. You'll need to make your way down here for weather on the roads at the lights here.
Yeah, look at that.
A very nice view here in Toledo.
Yeah, look at Toledo.
Share that with you guys.
Look at that Toledo all lit up. Yeah, listen, we've been covering all around there. There's Jacob with the lightning flashing with the Christmas lights on.
That's Illinois right there.
Yeah,
for you.
look at that, the lights flashing there in Toledo. As that rain seems to have let up just a tad bit there from what it was, but Jacob down there. And yeah, you know what? We're pushing these storms out. We're not seeing as much. Some great Christmas lights. Jacob was showing Christmas lights in Gibson City about 6 hours ago. Yep. And now we're getting Christmas lights down in Toledo right now. That shows how expansive our coverage can be. Is that the fire department there? The local fire department, possibly? So yeah, here we are.
Yeah, that's the fire department.
Yep. So there you go. Confirming. I thought it looked like the garages there from the fire department.
Yeah, that's the fire department. So.
Yeah, there we go. All right, Jacob, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Oh, looks like you just went through some flooding there, some urban flooding there in the Toledo area. There tonight with the Christmas lights lit up as storms just passed through. That storm's gone now. It's crazy. That storm is out of Toledo now. Okay, just pushing out. And you see what I mean by the short delay, because you can see there. He was there in Toledo. The radar still kind of shows that heavy rain, but there again, see that sweep just came across. So sometimes you get that little delay because of how fast these are moving. You can see now how that rain has begun to let up. I can tell you also letting up. Just the overall look of the storms there, not as strong still, you know, some gusty winds, but we're getting close here, you know, with these storms to kind of wrap things up.
Yeah, I'm just checking. We've not had any counties be dropped from the tornado watch just yet. It's been a little bit of time since we've seen a drop in counties, but you know, I think it's going to be, once this line gets out of here, it's going to be, they'll drop that pretty quickly after that. But, you know, we still just have to go a little bit longer here. These warnings that we have go until 12:45. The strongest storm itself, though, is almost to the Indiana line currently. So that's one thing that we're going to be, you know, having this thing push out of here pretty quickly.
All right, so how about I make you a deal?
Yeah.
We're going to relieve Jack of his duties for tonight because he's got to be back in. You got to be back in for the morning show?
Yeah, my alarm goes off at 4 o'clock. So I've got, at the most, if I go to sleep right now, I've got 3 hours and 50 minutes of sleep on the way.
We're gonna let Jack get out of here. Relieve him of his duties because he's back on the morning show. Jacob is back on the morning show.
Yeah.
Well, Jack has to help produce the morning show.
Yeah. Yes.
And there's Jacob there.
I got to come in a lot earlier than Jacob does. But you know, we'll have to kind of figure out a game plan. Figure out a game plan here because you know, we gotta show the coverage and you know, have a recap, but it's going to be hard for us to really get much more information tomorrow morning than what we have right now, just because of the fact that, you know, everything's happened at night so far.
Yeah. Jacob wondering what his deal is I'm sure they can put you up in a nice place down there in Toledo if you need to sleep down there for the night. You know, I'm sure the station will pay for it, or some of our fine folks will take you in.
You know, I just had a guy stop me. He said he'd been watching us all night, and he's like, "Come on over and have some coffee and cookies." I was like, "Oh, I don't know about that." So, you know, we'll be good. I'll be back up that way soon, and we'll have some more updates in the morning show.
Yeah, I think we're going to wrap things up here. These storms are pushing out. The warnings are going to be dropping off here. Jacob, I want to thank you for your coverage out there tonight.
Yes.
I mean, you've been all over the place. You're right on the money with those storms, tracking them, and exactly where you needed to be when those storms hit. we had the first pictures that you saw of any damage right there because we were on the storm and talking about, hey, this thing's like it's going to ramp up, and boom, there it was. And a minute after it happened, we were out there. So good job tracking those storms for us tonight. Pass along the information. One of the best out there. Put him out there, and Storm Tracker knows the area so good and can get to where he needs to be, and that's a great, valuable resource for all of us here. And that's what makes makes us a good team that we got here. We're proud to be able to deliver that. All right, Jack, I'm going to let you go here. I'm just going to do a little last kind of housekeeping stuff here to make sure that we're all good, and kind of a last hurrah. Let's just kind of come to the radar here real quick and kind of show you. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Griffin.
I'll be back.
He'll be back in a few hours. We're going to let him bounce out here, and we're just going to do some kind of last-minute looks here at our storms, because we've got some people down there, green up in Casey, that may still be watching us here tonight, but things are definitely winding down. I wouldn't be surprised if those warnings get dropped here before too long. I mean, now this storm that is in Edgar County is knocking on the doorstep into the Indiana state line. That is going to be slowly starting to move out of here. Here's the loop of the storms pushing through. Okay, we're going to be done with all of that and put things into the clear. Just kind of a wrap-up of all of the reports. Let me show you all of the different storm reports that we've had here tonight. And you can see, look how far back they stretch into Missouri, but a ton of them here across the St. Louis area into, even up here, I forgot about the one, this is what started it all up here into Cass County. They had a tornado up there, some wind gusts down there into, the Beecher City area. We talked about that in Effingham, obviously Shelby County there, right there in the Moultrie County area in Gaze, into Coles County, and then the storms up here. We didn't have much up here into Champaign, not much up into Vermilion County as far as any damage reports go. It was really kind of down here between I-72 and I-70, and obviously the worst of the damage that we have found so far in this area down here between Windsor, north of Mattoon, to the Dorrance area, and possibly even crossing even further to the east of that, but the light of day will reveal it. It was definitely some of the strongest reflectivity images that we had on radar, so there was no surprise that that was the case here tonight. So those are your storms that are slowly wrapping up here with us and pushing off and into Indiana. We're coming up here on 12:15 in the morning, and I think we're good. I think we're going to go ahead and just go ahead and wrap this up and kick it back to the regular programming here. But I want to encourage people to tune back in the morning with Jack and with Jacob. Ironically, we're running the show here, people. They'll be back in the morning with you. Jacob's going to slowly drive his way back. Jack is on his way to get a few hours of sleep, and we're gonna have the very latest. Jacob, do you have one last thing there, or is he popping open his? What's he got?
Got my little Christmas tree cake.
A Christmas tree cake.
Got some snacks for the road here. Can't not have them.
Here we go. Well, listen, buddy. Christmas tree cake. Hopefully, get you back home. We appreciate you out there. Be safe driving back. And to everybody who's been joining us here tonight, we appreciate you guys that have been here with us. Hopefully we were able to pass along as much information as we could to you so that we could get through this all together. Unfortunately, the light of day tomorrow could reveal even more damage. People that may have been asleep tonight and even realized they've had damage. But we're going to do our best efforts to gather up as much information as we can, have full coverage tomorrow morning on the morning show. 8 a.m., Jack? Is that when that thing kicks off? Yep. 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then, of course, tomorrow evening, as long as we don't have football, we'll have some newscasts tomorrow night. We hope everybody stayed safe out there. If you've heard of any reports, pass those back along to us. We talked about via our email, news@wcia.com. We check our Facebook and Twitters and all the social media pages there as well. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and we will send things back to regular programming. Stay safe out there.